I think it's safe to say that film is here to stay. Despite several low points and what could have easily been a trend cycle, film was embraced by photographers, artists, and amateurs alike for its unique look and process. With increased interest, we now see hope rising from the ashes of a once dying market. I'm David, and this is the whole picture. While we have seen many new color film products hit the shelves over the last few years, a lot of the film in one way or another comes from existing formulas. In my last video, I talked about how the origins of film stocks, among other things, is unfortunately not always clearly communicated to end users. And especially when paired with a big brand name, can feel deceptive and a step in the wrong direction as film becomes more popular with different demographics. But now with Phoenix 200, we have a truly new color film stock crafted by the minds behind HP5 Plus, Delta 3200, and other great films. But wait, Harman doesn't make HP5, Ilford does, right? This is where things can honestly get a bit confusing. Ilford was founded in 1879 by a man named Alfred Harman, and through the years the company changed in name and structure. Due to a management buyout in 2005, the naming rights of Ilford became a bit complicated, and Harman Technology, trading as Ilford Photo, based out of Moberly, England, continued to manufacture films like HP5 while having to license the Ilford name. Similarly, due to legal circumstances, color products made at Moberly cannot be sold under the Ilford name, hence we get Harman Phoenix. So with such a history behind this product, what's Harman's new color stock actually like? The first thing that strikes you is the bright mustard yellow base color of the film itself. This is due to a lack of an orange mask that traditionally helps in balancing out the colors and hints to the unique look you can expect from this film. I shot my first roll with the Olympus XA on a trip to New Zealand, and while I had viewed Harman's website and saw some of the sample photos, the lab scans were a little bit more extreme than what I was initially expecting. To their credit, Harman does have a dedicated scanning tips page on their site, which can help bring the most out of your photos, but results will probably vary from scanner to scanner and lab to lab. Toning things down a bit in Lightroom did produce more pleasing images for me, and looking at the negatives, there does seem to be some more information than what you might expect if you're just looking at the scans, so alternative scanning methods may produce more pleasing results. But even with that, Phoenix is by no means a standard ISO 200 color film. The overall look is on the warmer side, and at times can feel like a departure from reality. Grain is more pronounced than what you might expect from an ISO 800 or even 1600 film, and the look is much more reminiscent of red scale or push process color film. And similarly, we have less latitude with highlights easily blown, crushed shadows, and less information in the midtones. This is somewhat in contrast to a major reason you might choose to use negative film in the first place, for its latitude, but I think Harman Phoenix embraces some of the other well-loved aspects of analog photography. Analog photography offers organic rendering, texture, and grain, which can be difficult or time-consuming to emulate perfectly, especially when it comes to an experimental look like the one Harman Phoenix gives you. So with some trial and error, Phoenix 200 can be a new paintbrush for photographers and creatives to capture unique images and express themselves, while also giving amateurs a fun filmic experience where you don't quite know what you'll get with each photo, more so than other film stocks. I can see it being especially interesting in art and street photography scenarios where photographers have already been known to use alternative processing to produce similar results. The beauty of Harman Phoenix, though, is that it gives you this kind of look, but it can be processed just about anywhere with regular C41 chemicals, and thanks to Harman's long history manufacturing film, we should expect to find Phoenix in more shops than, say, indie experimental film stocks. Meaning it's more accessible to more people, which is a positive thing for film users. For me, the look of Phoenix is not exactly going to fit every situation. It is a subjective matter, and some will love it while others won't. But I think the close proximity release of Ilfocolor and now Phoenix brings something to light that we might have to grapple with more frequently with this revived market for film products. Film in the digital era was for many years something mostly used by invested photographers who did research, tests, and even shared those results. In no small part, thanks to this community, film's appeal broadened, the market followed, and now we have a wider range of products. Of course, stocks like Portra or HP5 have a long history and plenty of resources out there making them trustworthy staples, but it's really in these edge cases with film like Phoenix or Ilfocolor that beg the question, will consumers have to become more savvy, or will community-minded manufacturers implement more consumer-friendly practices? Compared to Ilfocolor, yes, Phoenix has many more resources available, and those watching a video like this are more likely to know what they're getting into when they load one of these into their camera. But casual film users that are just browsing the shelf probably won't recognize the Harman name and might be in for a real surprise when they get the photos back for this one. I don't think you need to write out a full description on the box. If anything, Ilfocolor's claim of vintage tones is vague and not really helpful. But I think in this case, an often overlooked but essential pillar of the film community has gotten it right for years. Lomography is well known for their experimental films, but they also put sample photos right on the box so everyone should know what they're getting into. Sample photos from the manufacturer certainly won't give you the whole picture on a product and are always going to be more on the flattering side, but specifically for a limited edition film like Phoenix 200 that most people will probably only use once or twice, I think some sample photos or a short description on the box would have gone a long way to selling the film and familiarizing new audiences with the Harman brand. As it is with these things, the answer probably lies somewhere in the middle. We can ask for more from manufacturers, but we also shouldn't judge a box by its cover and do the proper research, then testing to get the best analog experience. None of this is meant to downplay the significance of Phoenix 200 and what it means for analog photography. It's definitely a positive move forward and currently sold out in a lot of places here in Japan, which really goes to show the demand for new film products. It doesn't quite fill the gap from stocks we've lost in the past, and alone probably won't have companies like Fuji ramping up negative film production again, but it does give me hope for the future, and in a few years, who knows what will come from these smoldering ashes. Anyways, I hope you found the video interesting or informative. As someone that's been using film for over 10 years, it's really easy to forget what it's like to get started, but Phoenix really brought me back to my origins with photography, experimenting with different film stocks, and I'm very hopeful that the future will hold a lot more options for those getting started. Lately, I've been doing a lot of analog photography workshops targeted towards more beginners, which has helped me get a little bit more of a wider perspective on things like this. Normally on the channel, I go really deep into different subjects that might go over the heads of people that are just getting started. But for this one, I kind of wanted to incorporate what maybe the experience would be like for someone that's just getting started, finding Harman on a shelf somewhere and not really knowing what to expect from it. So let me know what you think about this style of video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.